everyone, and welcome back to Aging Gracefully for the 50 plus. I'm really excited about today because we're starting this section on routine in the book, my book, Design Smarts. And so before we begin, I want to welcome our new members. We're delighted to have you part of our group. And also, that the recipe I showed on the notice today of our video for today, we will have in our newsletter that will come out in a couple weeks, monthly newsletter. I made that recipe up like I do most of them in just my slam bam, thank you ma'am type of eating. It's got to be fast, easy, healthy, da-da-da. So I'm not a complicated cook, but my goal is to make it really yummy, and this one is. So the recipe is there. If we don't have your email, sign up with Macrina Bayless. It's in lots of our contacts, okay? So a review, last week we talked about, we're going to use this book, my book, this year. If you want a copy, we're still holding for another week or two this special. It's like $5 off or something. It's at mitzibeach.com. Up at the top, under products, you'll see it listed. So a review of the acronym of SMARTS is S is for our spaces, that's where we live. M is our mindsets. A is our attitudes. Attitudes affect aging. R is routine, our lifestyles, which is where we are today. And T is togetherness, living in community, having strong relationships. And S is for spiritual. So that's the theme of the downsizing going into each of those sections. It's very obvious that downsizing has to do with S, our spaces, right? But I don't think it's necessarily a cognitive thought that downsizing is part of all of who we are makeup. For instance, mindsets and attitudes. If we don't downsize those strongholds and those negative attitudes and all of those things, it's pretty impossible to move forward into a positive, purposeful life of joy and aging gracefully. So we've talked about that, and I'm sure we'll hit it again. But now we are on the R section, and last week we talked about are you a project? And for those of you that have not seen this video, I would recommend it because it's kind of the jump start to where we are for this year. But basically, it's about prioritizing you. Are you a project? And women are the worst at this because we put everything and everyone above taking care of ourselves. And that doesn't help us age gracefully, right? All right, so going into today, we are into, our goal is wholeness and balance. And we're going to dig into our eating habits. We have a lot to say about how we eat. This is not to judge anyone, how they eat, their size, anything. This video and everything we do is about encouragement. And you can't encourage people and motivate people if you're judging or you do this and don't do that. No, that's not what this is about. This is giving information that you can apply. We all have a ton of knowledge up here, but the encouragement is for you all to apply it to reap the benefits. And that's the goal of aging gracefully, to reap the benefits of your efforts, okay? So, first off, we talked about the downsizing last time, downsizing all of your habits that are not healthy. But one of them I wanted to refresh our mind on today is that life happens, and life certainly happened last year, and we talked about this last video. But very briefly, many of us were hit broadside with all kinds of things. And so we talked about the definition of shalom, to restore, refresh, and all of that. And so this is what we're about. We are restoring what we lost last year. We all know we have unplanned detours, whether it was a year of 2020 or not, life happens. So the 3 points were achieve balance, and that's going to be next week, apply the knowledge, and then prioritize you. So prioritizing you and applying knowledge and achieving balance is through everything. It's not just today. All right, so eating. I find that clean eating has served me well, probably 3 decades. And basically, clean eating is just clean. It does not have all the processed, packaged, high salt, high fat. It is a very simple, easy way to eat. It has nothing, very little processed, little or no fast food, low salt, no bad fats, and organic when possible. And I'll just put this in here. Eating habits greatly affect our weight, and controlling those pounds is essential to a life of well-being. It just is, you all, and it's hard. Every 10 years, it gets harder and harder, so start early. Now, every 5 years. And I'm going to talk about that set point weight, and that just makes it really hard to move off of that, but there's tricks. And I've done a post and a blog on is your scale your friend or your foe? I may dig that back out and talk about that in another habit that I do that I think is a Design Smart habit. But clean eating is very simple. It's not complicated, and I always say, keep it simple, sister. Here is, I've had this book forever, but I love all the pictures in it. And this is from, I'm sure you might be able to find it, El Cheapo. This is The Best of Clean Eating, and it's from the editors of Clean Eating magazine. I don't even know if that magazine is available. But it's helpful to have inspiration, ideas. We all get burned out. And this is breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all of that. But the one thing I want to reinforce is clean eating is not keto. And I don't ditch any eating plan. Whatever anybody chooses to do, so be it. I don't work that way. I have found and witnessed a lot of my people, those pounds just come back as soon as they're off of whatever plan. And there are some dedicated keto followers, they want to do that for life, that just works for them. And so be it. But basically what I'm saying is following just simple, easy things. This has carbs in it. It's how much and what types of carb. I love carbs. Bob just went out to do some quick pickups for us, and we have these beautiful Mennonite Amish bakeries, and he came back with maple cinnamon rolls. So I'm sure I will succumb and have a half a one or whatever with a cup of coffee at some point. That's fine. That's the 80-20. Remember, 80% we do what's right, or what's good for us, I guess. 20% we're having it. I'm going to enjoy that partial or half, and maybe I end up eating it all. But I'm also going to walk today and get some of those calories off. It's chilly, but I can bundle up. So the other thing is consistency. Be consistent. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I know your eyes are rolling like, I hate breakfast. I know, many do. Many don't eat until noon. That's so not good for you. Your body needs to break the fast. Breakfast. And it needs to be broken with a protein. Cup of coffee and a piece of toast, sorry guys, doesn't break the fast to get that glycemic level started, leveled out, because it will affect your entire morning, your energy, and your body will grab from other sources. We did a whole thing on protein, so I won't go into all that. The other thing is I eat, do breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. And I get really hungry. The more you train your body, the more revved up your metabolism is. If you don't feed it, it's like it thinks it has no gas in the car and it's not going to go. You need to feed your body. It's what you eat. And so I'm also a believer in fasting, so many hours a day or night. And so we eat about 6 o'clock dinner, and then I don't eat after that. And that really helps the bloat, the muffin top, all the pounds go there, which we hate. And so that has been getting a lot of exposure with the health gurus in the last couple years. Exercise. We need 2 types of exercise. We need weight bearing and we need aerobic. But before I get into that, I want to briefly talk about posture. I can't remember what it's called, but we spend a lot of time, with our iPhone or bent over like this. And that really causes not good things for our spine. And so if we can stand up straight, hold in our tummies, it helps our whole spine be in alignment. And I have to, catch myself all the time slouching, especially sitting. We were watching Downton Abbey. We have the series and we go through it in the winter. And if you watch those ladies, I don't know if it's just because they're in a drama series, but I mean, they are sitting up so beautifully, and it's good for us. And a note here, sitting too much is now considered the new smoking ill effect on our health. We need to be up and moving, and being sedentary, watching 6 or 7 hours of TV or on social media, even if that happens to be your gig, break it up, walk around, do whatever. But exercise needs to be weight bearing. I have a couple little weights here. These are only 3 pounds, but we need weight bearing for osteo. Extremely important, ladies and gentlemen, but for sure women. I spend a lot of effort on my bone health. And my last DEXA this fall, I don't have osteo or osteopenia, but back 10 years or so, I was in a bad way if I would have had an accident or a fall. So we have worked on that hard, my great woman's doctor and all, and I do lots of things for that. But this is really, really important. Simple. You can do it in front of the TV. And weight bearing is walking, or other weight bearing exercises. It's not just these. Sure, you have some things, and some of you may have a trainer and all that works with you on this. But aerobic, you need to get your heart going. You need to be pumping that heart. And many people think this is an Apple Watch, but it's a Fitbit. And I need to know where my heart rate is, BMP, what is that, basal metabolic pressure or something like that. And if we're just sitting around on our laptop, you know, social media, watching TV, eating whatever, excuse me, our heart rate stays pretty like not much going on. In order to keep that blood flowing through your heart, you need to be pumping energy. Boom, boom, boom. And I know tons are on blood pressure medicine. And I hated to start it myself, but a couple years ago, due to my blood pressure started going up a little bit. And it wasn't due to weight or stress or anything. It just was discovered after, I don't want to get too long and personal, but there's a small genetic valve issue that with aging, things are not as flexible and do their thing. So I'm really committed to getting in that aerobic exercise almost all the time, daily I mean. So that's that, okay? It's not just out taking a stroll unless you're doing another aerobic. Swimming is fabulous, and there's all these indoor pools and silver sneakers for many. They can do it for free, on and on. If you have a will, you'll find a way, and I hope you will have the will to find a way. So that's basically what I want to talk about today to get us started. And believe me, we're at the tip of the iceberg, but it's also exciting to know how resilient our bodies are. Any little thing, they respond. It's like they're in there clapping. Yay, she's giving me water. Yay, I'm doing whatever. So never, ever, never say never or always, but never, ever think it's too late. It is never too late, you all. And remember our motto, which is we do more for ourselves so that we can be more for others. If you're not prioritizing you, making yourself a project, I will stand on, I doubt if you will be able to maintain everything you want to be able to do for others because you haven't doed enough for yourself. And I'm not scolding. I don't want you to think that, but I want to bust paradigms that it doesn't matter. It does matter. So this is it for today. Next time, we are going to do a life of balance. And until next time, be well, be safe, be happy.